it's our time to welcome our newly appointed Mayor of Geelong, Councillor Stretch Contal. So congratulations and welcome to Brock.
Thank you.
Welcome as Mayor. Fantastic.
Yeah. Yep. First TV interview.
Big shoes to fill.
Now, the first thing is the big slogan, the campaign or the headlines has been, make CBD great again.
Yeah. Look, I ran on a campaign, sort of a dual parallel campaign. One was about the CBD. I really felt that the community was disappointed with what's happening in the CBD. Look, the waterfront is fantastic. The arts precinct is brilliant.
Yeah.
It's just that Moorabool Street section, particularly from Ryrie down to Mallup.
Yep. You got Hitchcock building.
Right, Hitchcock, you got Market Square, so that area there is in desperate need of revitalisation. So no one's going to complain about that. So look, my view for that is to bring together into the same room all the players that will have an influence on how that's going to develop. So namely the owners of Market Square, the owners of Brighton Hitchcock, local government, state government, federal government, the relevant planning authorities, the experts on planning. I want to understand, in a forum context, over 3-4 hours initially, what are all the issues that are holding back the development of those properties? And it's warts and all, because ultimately where I'd like to land is to identify what is holding back the developments, and then whoever's responsible for those undertake that they'll go away and do whatever it takes to get those removed. To let the developers get on with the job. I think it's going to be led by private investment. I see a big role for residential development in the CBD. I think you've got to bring people back into the CBD to live, work, play. I don't think the CBD is seen as a destination for retail anymore.
No, it's not.
So we need to bring the people back in.
Yeah.
Well, you talk about retail. Geelong in 2016, when Westfield opened. Now, at that point, before Westfield opened, we had 30,000 square metres of retail through the Geelong CBD, and then Westfield added 50,000 square metres of retail to that to make it 80,000 square metres, which completely oversupplied the whole township. And we've never recovered since, really, have we? We've got vacancies everywhere for such a long time now. It's an ingrained thing, and then you've got online shopping and COVID and everything else that's really hurt retail.
Look, I was on the council when we approved what was in Westfield, and it was always the risk that was going to happen.
Yeah.
And we're just now dealing with all that. So it was inevitable it was going to happen. Ryrie Street has been suffering now for a significant period of time as a result of that. Moorabool Street. So we just now need to deal with the consequences of that development.
So from my point of view, Mike's, we're dealing with these developers and all these owners of these buildings every day. And from our point of view, there is no want of... These people all want to invest. They all want to get things going. But the things that hold them back is making it financially feasible. And I think you touched on the right point before. It becomes financially feasible when the place becomes hospitable, when the place becomes a nice place to live and a nice place to be. And you can't say it isn't, Mo, can you?
It's certainly not. Look, it's like a donut for me. The waterfront is fantastic. You've got the convention centre coming in. That's taking care of itself, and that's going to draw further investment in that precinct. But we don't need to worry about that too much. That's going to look after itself. The arts precinct is fantastic now with the arts centre there. There's a piece of work to be done with the art gallery and potentially the city hall, but it's got its own vibrance. It's got its own position as to what it's needing to add into that precinct. And then you've got James Street, Little Mallup Street, with everything that Visaris and Batman Group are doing.
Yeah.
So fantastic stuff.
And that's a good example of private investment that's had a big impact. But even that business model is now suffering because the foot traffic level are lower than ever, and all those hospitality venues along there are really struggling at the moment. And in fact, it's the worst I've seen. And we're talking about that Mike off camera.
Well, a lot of that has been due to, the legacy post-COVID is this hybrid working. Between those government agencies and council offices, there's approximately 4,000 people that aren't in the CBD shopping, buying coffees, lunch, etc. every single day. So there's a few things that I think you've named some great things that are happening in Geelong. You said the arts precinct, the waterfront, our little Flinders Lane equivalent, etc. But I think there's a number of issues, and you alluded to it before about you almost got to have that cart before the horse
Yeah,
scenario.
yeah, we need
is
something happening.
inner city living has that's been taken away through framework. Yeah. So developers are sort of abandoned plans with less height, I
Less
guess.
yield, less height. Yeah.
And we don't have the workforce working in the CBD at the moment.
Yeah, look, I agree. Look, when I was back on council back in the day, back in 1998, the big issue for Geelong at that time was really population dearth.
Yeah.
People literally were paying for people to come into Geelong. But what was also lacking was industry to replace Ford, Harvester, Alcoa, all these industries that were dying. So there was a concerted effort to bring in the TAC. Then WorkSafe followed, MDIS. It's all fantastic. It's brought those government bodies into town. And you're right, Michael. They're hybrid working, so we're not getting the full benefit of that, but they're there. What is lacking is the residential development in the city for me. And I see a vision for Market Square. Look, there should virtually be no height limit on that site, to be my view, because you're not going to upset anyone. But people I've been talking to throughout the election cycle, and I've been talking about, let it rip as far as Market Square was concerned. No one's complaining.
No one's complaining. You know the petition I put online. My view is that we should be knocking over and providing at least a large portion of it back as public open space. Make the place hospitable. Make a place like the garden steps for the library in Melbourne. You can sit down. The Fed Square where you can go and see an event or a natural amphitheatre, that sort of thing. There, like a reason to spark development, a reason for people to come and live in the CBD.
Look, yeah, and we will have to talk about that, but which site's going to be the big residential sites then?
Well, there's all sites around. In fact, there's 16 different plans and permits in place at the moment for development, and they're all held back on the one thing that they can't sell the apartments at the value rate they need to build them out. So these developments are sit there ready to go with private investment, which is exactly what you said you need, a private investment. And that private investment needs to be able to sell these apartments at 12,000, 14,000 a square metre. Yeah. And at the moment, we're only being able to sell them at 9,000.
Well,
We've got to get an offering to those guys themselves.
That's my point. And that's why it's important to get state, federal, local into the room and to hear about these things. And we just got to face the brutal facts. If those regulations are holding back the investment, then whoever's responsible for that, be it state government, they've got to go back and got to get them changed. And, if what's in place now is not fit for purpose, it's no point having it sitting on the shelf because the developments are not happening. So that's my view on it.
Well, Stretch,
Yeah.
we wish you all the best, and we're excited to see the changes that can be brought into CBD. We love the CBD, we work in the CBD, we think it's got huge potential, and we like to see someone to come in and with passion. And anyway, thanks for joining us with
thank you, guys.
Props, and all the best.
Thank you. Thanks, Church. Appreciate it.
Well, we're here on the balcony at the Geelong Club, and it is time to sign off. We just want to thank, our guests for this episode.
Stretch Cantali, Mayor, our new mayor.
So thanks for joining us. Again, thanks to all our viewers.
And everybody that's watched our show for the year, and that's listen and increased our views and that sort of stuff. The 10,000 views our show's got to this year, nearly every episode. So
we've had our best year.
Thank you.
We've been doing this for 5 years, and this has been our best.
It's been 5 years.
It's been 5 years.
Truth.
So again, if you want to hear from us, don't forget to subscribe. Otherwise, we'll see you back for Proct in 2025.